Hi everybody, it's your boy Hibernian here. I'm gonna do the top five best and worst moments of this game week in the Premier League. And the fifth worst performance this game week has to go to Aston Villa's João Gomez. Gomez has been touted as a very talented player. However, for 34 million, getting sent off on your debut in the first half of your debut, no less, will raise a lot of red flags and a lot of red cards for Aston Villa going forwards. Aston Villa this season look like they're going to be in the mud for a long period of the season. They've sold a lot of their best players, Morgan Rogers, and even Ollie Watkins is looking for the door. Tielemans as well, so they're going to struggle this season. I reckon they'll finish bottom half. But please let me know what you guys think. Fifth place easily goes to Ryan Cherky. I'm sad I didn't put him higher up on the list. I'm a very big fan of Ryan Cherky. Think he's very talented. Think he's probably one of the best players, best potential players in English football right now. He got 2 assists this weekend, one from a corner, and another one really, really technical. 3 players on him, passes it to Gavardio, showing that amazingly high level of technique and a very high likelihood of him partnering Erling Haaland for the near future. I'm putting Arbeloa and Fulham at fourth, mainly because they conceded in the first minute at home to Chelsea. Chelsea's team is a very good team at the moment. They do. I think their front three are going to devour the league at certain points of this season. Of definitely Champions League, definitely title contenders. But yeah, I've been watching Fulham this pre-season, and I was very upset through the butchering this. I was very upset that Alonso didn't start the season with De Freuger. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Most definitely not. But Anderson was off, well, red carded against Newcastle the last game in last season, and we need a right-footed centre back, and he did very, very well for Canada in the World Cup, and it's very disappointing to see that Arbeloa did not choose him, as well as Arbeloa being known for promoting youth players to the first team. I was very disappointed not to see this against Chelsea, as well as playing Iwobi at DM. During that game, Iwobi seemed to be very mismatched in that position, and we probably would rather have Shay Charles playing it rather than Iwobi, and then Iwobi play either cam or right wing, where the new Spanish lad started playing. Fourth best has got to go to Chelsea, and it's got to go to Cole Palmer. I think the trio of João Pedro, Palmer, and Rogers is going to be very, very good this season. Uh, a lot of teams are going to suffer from it. A 3-4-3 formation for Chelsea is looking very tasty. Arbeloa, not Arbeloa. I said it last time with Alonso. Alonso is very well adept at using a 3-4-3. He won the Bundesliga undefeated with a 3-4-3, and I feel Chelsea have got the players and the resources to accomplish something incredible this season. The fourth place goes to Cole Palmer and Xabi Alonso's Chelsea. Third worst could have gone to 2 clubs, Palace or Forest. I don't believe Palace are in any threat of getting relegated this season. Forest might be. Losing the lead on the first game of the season doesn't seem like a big L, but in my opinion, it could snowball into something terrible. However, Forest could make amends today as they played Leeds in the FA Cup. They play them at home 2 games in a row. They played Leeds at home 2 games in a row. The problem with Nottingham Forest is not that they play badly, it's that they conceded late, and that's demoralising. As well as they don't seem to be buying the players that they truly need to stay in the division, in my opinion. So the snowball effect of the first loss, second loss, third loss could see them sink. And I don't see much fight in the squads at the minute. They're playing a 3-4-3, and Glasner could achieve something great. However, I feel that he had players that he could rely on at Palace, when Forest he doesn't really have that. I would put money on what's called Nottingham Forest losing a bunch of games and sacking Glasner. I feel Glasner is very vulnerable in that state, and when he comes into a new club, especially Nottingham Forest, they will have a conveyor belt of managers instead of just relying on Glasner to save them. Arsenal had the third best game week 1 this Premier League season. Odegaard really did perform for Arsenal, as well as Kai Havertz playing striker. As a deep line forward, Kai Havertz has really proved to me that they don't necessarily need Alvarez or Gyökeres to achieve anything this season. I was worried at the start of the season of Arsenal's attacking threat. I said it earlier, I said it in a video prior. I don't feel the same. I think Kai Havertz has actually proved something to me, that he's gone up a level. Even though 3-0 is a good enough score to win any game, I personally think against a newly promoted side, the attacking comments I made earlier might be justified. I think Coventry is newly promoted and could have conceded more, if anything. However, I am confident on the way and the style that Arsenal played that they can achieve something this season without any worries. They can do a double. I hear Arsenal fans talking about invincible season. The season just started. I don't think during their invincible season, that at the start of the season, they were talking about the invincible season. I personally think that Arsenal fans are going to put too much pressure on them by chasing dreams and not actually chasing the reality. Second worst match week 1, Manchester United. Manchester United lost 2-0 to Hull City. To be fair, at Hull, a lot of people were expecting a big season from Man United, knowing that Pep left Man City. I was expecting Sesko to pop off this season, and there's still 37 matches left. He can easily score 20 goals in 37 matches. However, it seems like losing to Hull City, a newly promoted side, on the first game of the season, defensively, not much has changed. Only the goalkeeper. Man United will struggle this season. Probably finish mid-table, lower mid-table, if anything. Man United really needed to start picking up points early this season if they wanted to even challenge the Champions League. I have a feeling that they will suffer this season. They won't be the same Man United that we saw under Fergie. Michael Carrick really needs to do something very, very quickly at Manchester. Defensively, they haven't really changed the centre back in the last, but their defenders for the last 5 years, and it shows massively. Man United will need a desperate deadline day transfer to achieve anything, and I think panic buying won't do them any good. They need to sign someone. A Rolls Royce, make them feel Champions League quality. The problem with Man United at the moment is that they're a mid-table side on the budget of a top 4 side, and a lot of their players are mid-table fodder. They have no elite level players, in my opinion. They got good top players, good enough players to get you in Europe and to be competitive in Europe, in like the Europa League or the Conference League, but not in the Champions League. I'm sorry to any Man United fans, but that's the truth. That's the reality of it. Hopefully they can offload a lot of decent players and just invest heavily in their youth academy graduates. Be like a La Masia of England. What a way to return back to the Premier League. Hull City last season was expected to finish bottom half, and they overachieved massively. Performance-wise, they should have finished bottom half, but they overachieved massively. This Hull City side keeps overachieving, and we could probably see it this season in the Premier League. They might have a blip, and if that blip derails them, then it derails them. But at the moment, Hull City look like they're going to survive. They're one of the scariest teams to come up against this season, as by losing to them, morale will fall instantly inside the dressing room. You can tell Hull City has achieved something here, achieved something great, something that I haven't seen a promotion team achieve in a while. Expectations are so low that drawing is achieving above your weight. this whole City side winning against Man United truly sends a message to the rest of the league. It sends a message saying Wolves on day one are fighting for survival, and you're going to have to go all season to stay up. What a battle from this whole side! Not full of expensive names, not full of players that everybody knows. Bunch of lads that people don't really take a second look at might achieve something great this year, and I will be surprised if they get relegated at this point. However, the season's still long. 2 losses, 3 losses in a row, and you'll be like, yeah, they're going to get relegated. But from this moment, this point, Hull might achieve something great. Tottenham got absolutely battered by Brentford on the weekend, losing 3-0 to the Bees. Tottenham have been struggling for the last few seasons now, and now spending 250, probably going on 300 million on players that might be surplus to requirements in a few years doesn't seem like a great decision. Tottenham are in a bit of a state right now. However, their stadium and their facilities should be able to make it so they can recover very easily. Tottenham might be in an era of rot where a lot of youth academy graduates that were going through didn't really play for him. Troy Parrott, who has now gone to Real Betis, was the 4th top scorer in Europe last year, and Spurs sold him for basically nothing, which is very sad. He would have been the perfect Harry Kane replacement, but Tottenham didn't do the business correctly. Tottenham aren't doing business correctly, and it really shows. Everybody should have that feeling that Tottenham are easily going to bounce back. I personally do. I feel like this will be a mid-table season, even from this point onwards. They will struggle, I feel, defensively. I think they missed the goalkeeper. When they sold Lloris, they all went downhill, didn't it? And when they sold Kane, they didn't have that goal scorer, that elite level threat up top. Tottenham are drowning right now, and I don't see them paddling their way to shore quite yet. They will be in a relegation battle from this point onwards. However, a few wins, 2 wins in a row, easily achievable for Tottenham Hotspur. They can achieve it. However, there was been questions about the new White Hart Lane Stadium and that certain types of injuries keep occurring on that field because it's not built for football. It has a football pitch, but it's not technically built for football. It's a multi-purpose ground, and I feel like that's causing a lot of injuries. And the playing pitch isn't at the best quality. So yeah, Tottenham hold first place in the biggest losers of game week 1. Please leave a like and a comment and tell me what you believe or what you think will happen this season for Tottenham. Ipswich finished first on my list after a 2-1 win at home against Sunderland. A 90-minute winner seals the points for Ipswich. This is very important as both Hull and Ipswich were looking to go down. Getting 3 points in your first match shows a level of content of what you can achieve. And even though Ipswich had been looking like a yo-yo club in recent years, I think this is the year of stability for them. I feel like this could be the year where they can find a way up. But I have a feeling 2 other established Premier League teams will have to go down to make this happen. For me, Sunderland might suffer from second season syndrome as well as playing European football at the same time. I feel like they'll focus on Europe at the wrong time and get themselves relegated. But that's besides the point. We're talking about Ipswich. Ipswich have achieved something that Hull has as well, but it's very rare in football. To get 3 points in your first match day, good on you. What an achievement. Well played to Ipswich Town and their fans. Ed Sheeran must be giddy with excitement. But however, he cannot achieve what Elton John did with Watford, finishing second. But there we go. That's the video. Please remember to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Really will be appreciative.